All right, y'all. I want to show y'all something real quick. On my early morning walk, I want to show y'all like what the cemetery look like. Here, look, it, it's higher than it look. It's on mountains. So I don't know if I'm panning too fast, but I'll try not to. You gotta walk all the way up the mountains, and this is what it looked like. The entry of it coming in, and this is where I'm going. I'm just chilling. You can chill anywhere up in here and relax, listen to the nature and stuff like that. So I'm just walking early morning and just checking out this huge cemetery. It's big as fuck, y'all. Huge. Look at how high these mountains is. There's a tombstone at the top of that mountain right there already. I don't know if it looks that high in the video, but it's actually high, y'all. It looks like it's about maybe 40 feet, 40, 50 feet. It's really high, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's a huge cemetery. And I'm just walking because getting to know my new area, and it's all right, y'all. It's, it's so far doesn't mean it's gonna stay that way. Uh, but I wanted to see what it's like to spend a full season here in my own place, if I can get it. But a part of me is saying, fuck that housing, you know what I mean, or whatever. Just just go back to my hometown state and see if I can make things work there. Which I would gladly do, is just one person in my way down there, and technically I would have to go through that person if I wanted to get my place in that part of Florida again. But I'll be back ultimately. Y'all, look at this view right here. Huge cemetery. This motherfucker huge. Anyways, though, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Y'all stay safe. Peace out. I'm finna find me a little spot. And I'm not sleepy right now, but as y'all know, I didn't get no rest last night. I don't know if they purposely put me in a room with those snorers who was communicating with each other, snoring and shit, which I anticipated before even coming. I know it's always somebody fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is now in today's world. But maybe I'll find a spot here and try to crash out for a little bit if I get tired, you know. Look at this. Let me show y'all real quick. Try to pan it slow. You know, try and crash out, get a little bit of rest, and then if I get tired enough to go to sleep, which I don't think, but I could have went to sleep back at the place, but there's really not that many locations to go to sleep inside the place because it's the living room is pretty small, and plus I wanted to come see this place because it's so high on mountains. So high, it's huge. You can see the cars coming from that way. Huge. Yeah, so we're gonna find somewhere to go, chill for a little bit, have a little phone time. Look at how high I climbed already. So during the winter time, you could be sliding down the the snow. And the reason why I wanted to spend a full year here, to enjoy the seasons, and also to be doing like a little bit of outdoor activity to see what it's like to like ice fish, sit outside my own place and watch the snow fall. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'll be able to share that with my significant other, whoever she may be, when that time comes. If that time comes, you know, if the Heavenly Father will allow me to be on this earth that long. We already got people out here pulling up all the way over there. Yeah, damn, they coming fast. Yep, them motherfuckers. The motherfuckers craving me. Who is this guy? I guess these important people that have died that meant something. But I'm gonna see if I can find a little quiet space to go like max and relax, chill out for a little bit, kill some time, which yeah, and you know, have a little cell phone time, relax, get my leg back right. Y'all, my knee, from getting hit by a car, I didn't realize like how affected my knee was. I thought the pain had done been left until I had to make my bed and get on my knees. You know what? Look how fast this motherfucker came out of nowhere, y'all. Person in the blue shirt. That motherfucker. That boy came out of nowhere. Something about these agents in the north, man. These boys something else. Yeah, there's something else. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, so for me, yeah, I'm just gonna relax, have a little phone time, chill out a little bit. I'm not really tired, but yeah, I ain't never know how how much my knee was still hurting until I pressed on it to make the bed up. I was like, oh, you know, like that pain that don't hurt you to where it's like, oh fuck, but the pain that makes you laugh when it's like almost on the funny bone. You're like, oh, you know what I mean? That kind of laugh, like, oh shit. It doesn't hurt bad enough for you to cry or anything like that, but it hurts enough to tickle the funny bone. And that's where I'm at. But these guys literally had to run in here, y'all, because that's a long ass way from the other side. So that means they had to be running in here and this live ain't even public right now. It's only, you know, through invite, because if I do it publicly, somehow Facebook censors it, and a lot of times they'll block my live or start making it mess up. Every few seconds they'll make it mess up. But yeah, these agents here in the north though are different. But I don't sense the racism as much though. But like how in the South, in my hometown state and all that, but like there's definitely some strange a strange feeling. But they have a level of respect though. I don't know, maybe it's a northern thing. You know, but like I said, I just want to enjoy the outdoors. Maybe have a partner to do it with would be fucking perfect. You know what I mean? And not a fucking male. You know, my own woman that I can share some insight with and teach some things to and enjoy the outdoors with, things like that. Since I've been around male the last, 20 something years, it's fucking ridiculous. Oh, and I'm glad I just thought about that, because it brings me to my next point. Where you see, speaking of males, I'm gonna sit here on this tombstone real quick. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Relax. This is a cool little area though. This is a high ass mountain that this graveyard is on. We'll sit like right here. Ugh. Damn. So we can see who come in this way, but we won't be able to see who come in that way. And yeah, like right now when I sat down, let me show y'all. See how tight my little second pair of pants is? I can feel my knee still sore right here. And I still got a small tiny scab on it. But like I said, when I got hit, this was pushed over here. I was like, what the fuck? And and it didn't even hurt. And I put it back I felt the pinch, but that was it. But now I can feel the soreness like under my knee right now. Because from when I guess I aggravated it by getting on my knees, making my bed, and I can feel the pain right here in the corner. So yeah. And still haven't got the police report yet. The lawyers turned me down. It wasn't a big enough case for them because apparently in Vermont you gotta have like some real damage, broken bones and shit. They want to see, some real damage in order for them to go after whoever it is. Um, but yeah, back to what I was saying, y'all. So damn, I lost train of thought, y'all. I lost train of thought. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I was talking about before I went off on a rant on my knee. Oh, okay, I remember. Which brings me to my next point of the fact that they put so many men around me, right? I thought at one point of time that maybe, just maybe, the reason why they're being so greedy and keep packing all these men around me is because they're afraid of the woman in a way, right? Because they're afraid that the woman may connect with me more and may do more with me and would be better with me than they would. So it's like a greed thing, you know, thing. Um, then it's like, so then maybe they won't um, have a chance to get a raise or whatever it is they getting paid to keep flooding a lot of men around me and stuff. If that makes sense, I don't know. I mean, like, because it's like they're jealous of their women, right? Which sometimes, let me say this, sometimes you can tell uh, the gender or or the mind of someone who's controlling a force. That's what I just learned. Now I'm no genius, but I'm just saying, like, from it's what I think from being watched all these long time, like 20 years or whatever. I can tell that, and I might be wrong, y'all, but the person who's in control of the forces are gay. I'm serious. They may be gay because the way that they're controlling the forces and what they're allowing the forces to do, the ones that were, when I was I can't speak for everybody because, like I'm saying, it's different. But whoever, if it's, I don't want to say like this, y'all, because people may perceive it wrong or may think I'm talking shit or whatever. I'm just saying, for me, I was thinking that you could tell who's ever in charge, the head guy in charge of the forces, whatever undercover forces may be harassing you or maybe targeting you or whatever. You can tell that the person that's over them is gay, low-key gay, or have been gay at one point in time in their life. The fact that they're flooding a lot of men, right, and keeping the women away, it's like they're jealous of the women and they are in competition with the women, whether they know it or not. Why do I say this? Because the fact that they hog everything up for themselves, don't give the woman a shot, because they're afraid that the woman will outdo them in the category of Keytron. Not saying that any other category, the men will probably beat the shit out of the woman, whoop them to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even be no contest. But in terms of Keytron, they're keeping the woman away from me, as far like they even put gay dudes around me before they put real women around me. And if they do allow a woman to come around me, it's some, like I said, junked out woman who they cleaned up and try to make them look like they ain't a junkie. You know what I'm saying? but the woman is a junkie. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me let this fart out real quick. But yeah, so uh, the only woman that they allow around me now is like junkie women, if that makes sense. So it's like, and if they do ever allow women that are not junkies, that are straight, they're gonna always be taken. No single woman, no, they always got to be under control by them. Even if they're single, they won't have permission uh to engage with me on any kind of level. Strict, they're under like slavery. They're under like some kind of house arrest without, in terms of me. And so I figure that they are jealous of the woman, are in competition with the woman, and are afraid of the woman, that the woman may do a better job with me, and me with them. They would adapt with me better. They would get along better, and they would do a better job than the males with me. And they know this. So in fact, so they want to hog all the credit. They want to hog all the glory. Forget about all the long list of shit they've already got credit for and been doing for years. They still want all the credit for Keytron. They won't even let the women, you know what I'm saying, unless, like I said, it's some fucked up women, or women with history. So that's what I wanted to say, which I'm glad I brought that situation up over there. Just thinking about it, like, damn, I just thought about this, and it makes sense. You know what I mean? They are in competition with the woman. Now, they might not know it or might not see it like that. You know what I mean? They might not. They just simply might be so possessed and hooked on their own controlling ways that they don't even realize it. But they are in competition with the woman, and they are jealous of the woman. At least the way the head guy in charge that are running them is that way. Maybe he might be gay and he don't like women. So, as a punishment for the woman, or not even, I won't say punishment for the woman, but they're in competition with the woman, because if the woman get full, the men will be. It will, I guess, for some reason, make the men look bad, and they don't want to look bad because, after 20 something years of, I guess, following me around and harassing me and all these things that have been occurring, it would make them look like a failure. You know what I'm saying? And part of that could be them trying to protect me from the woman, because, like I said, if they allow me to be around women, it has to be under their control. So they would then make the woman do things to intentionally sabotage our relationship or whatever kind of friendship we have, to make me hate the woman or the woman hate me. You know what I mean? So I caught on to that. I said, damn, which leads back to the head guy in charge that's allowing all this shit to take place. They must have been gay. Somewhere down the line, something happened. And I could see all that and then some more, just by how the forces align themselves and the way they move and the way they carry themselves, the way they watch me, the way they try to probe me for information, the way they show despotism when I speak to them, the way they pop up. I can see all that. And there's much more you're allowed to see. But maybe it's not for everybody. Maybe certain people can see that. And I'm just saying, like, to me, it's like they're intentionally blowing their cover, which, if we paying money for this, they should be fired. I'm serious. They should be fired, because we spending a hell of a lot of money for shit like this. And I was gonna share this post last night that talks about how lazy it's this white man talking about how lazy white man is, but they get all the glory for everything. Like, everything they ever create, everything they do is just fucking lazy. And I was gonna share it, but I didn't. I just liked it and skipped it. But for y'all, what I'm gonna do, and I shouldn't even make this public right now. I'm gonna make this public right after this live, and then I'm gonna share that video I'm talking about. So that video, I'm gonna go back and look at my likes. That video will be right after this video. So if you made it this far in this video, when you're done, If you scroll up, that video should be right there. And I'm not going to share no other video but that video, so you can see it's a white man talking about how lazy white Americans are. Everything they ever did, you know what I'm saying? And they basically saying they piggyback off of things everybody else do. And instead of the rightful people getting the credit for it, the white men got the credit for it. Let me say white men. I can't say white people because white men dominated the world, not white people, because you got white women who were the natural slaves that nobody ever talk about. Their history has been wiped out and forgotten about. You know, what white women was the original slaves in the United States, because they the ones who used to get sold through sex trafficking, human trafficking, before it even was a big deal. Somewhere down the line, somebody made it a big deal and fucked up their organization, you know what I'm saying, which created all these crimes called sex trafficking and all that. So now, back in the days, you used to can go to a little club or a booth or something and buy a woman, like literally pay cash for this woman, and this woman would be yours, like your property. She, you know, you would be her owner, and you could do whatever it is you want with this woman. But now, you know, a lot has changed since then. You feel me? So you can't buy a woman anymore. You know, some places in the world you still can buy a woman. They're still big on that, but not in the U.S. And so, which leads me back to what I was saying earlier. It's like they're jealous of the women here, that if the women be around me, connect with me, interact with me more, without them, the woman would do a hell of a job. And of course, some things might get sexually active, you know what I mean? Like a lot, you know, some shit might pop up. And the men are jealous of that. They're jealous. They're very jealous, and it'll be an embarrassment for them. Why? Because in the end, you guys spent 20 years following this man, trying to do shit, and you know it's been, uh, it ain't been so good, right? But then you allow the women to come in and they do a hell of a job better than you in just a day or a week or something. It'll make them look horrible, and they can't have that. So therefore, you know, they have to control the woman to make fucked up decisions, to do fucked up things, like how they would fuck up things. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing this white dude was saying. They only fuck up shit. You know, they only good for fucking up shit. And I think it is true though. It is true. You feel me? Because they, you know, that's why I said they like Sid from Toy Story. But you have to give them credit because they're still able to do it. So as much as a fuck up as you want to call them, no matter what you want to say about them, they still are in control of America. They still do a hell of a job running this country. They ain't been defeated yet. They still outsmarted who they had to outsmart. They still, you know, for the land, it's still the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? They still can get people touched, get people killed. So you could talk and say what you want to say about them at the end of the day. The end of the day is they still much a powerhouse, so they can't be all that stupid and they can't be all that bad, you know, because they able to turn this. You know, they took the countries, the land that they needed to take. You know, they did what they had to do to establish themselves as a powerhouse. You know, but that doesn't mean, you know, even kill themselves along the way, and they still do it today. You know, if they feel, you know. And that's why white people are afraid of white people more than anything else, because white people know white people don't play that shit. They know they will kill, but they know black people, on the other hand, will not kill so quick like them, you know. And that's why they conquer them, you know. But we don't want to go off on that topic. I'm gonna end this video real quick because I want to share that other video before I forget. So that if you made it this far, the video is going to be after this. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Y'all stay safe. Peace out. I'm gonna have a little phone time, relax, chill and shit. You know, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just getting to know my new area, and I'm heavily thinking about some things though, y'all. I really would like to secure my own place here soon, but the decision I've made to bike here uh, from Burlington, because of they was acting like they didn't see me, and you know, when I was trying to get a spot down there, which already mean that pretty much I would have to go back there for my place, even if housing called or whatever the situation might be. So I'm looking at a weird situation here. I might just be, you know, on some fuck that type shit and just get back to Florida, you know what I'm saying, or try another state real quick. I'm gonna see if I can make it happen in another state, if it'll be better for me in another uh state, and just see what's up there, you know what I mean? Real quick. On this journey, and I'm gonna bring y'all along with me, you know what I'm saying, recording and shit like that when I can, every now and then. But the spot I'm at is other than those guys snoring and putting me in a room with them, I feel like purposely for them to communicate and through snoring was was uncalled for. You feel me? And after, I think it was a test that they knew that I rode my bike here, and it took me 18 hours, I believe. No, not 18 hours. Was it? Yeah, it took me a long time to get here. Not 18. I left at 3. No, I think 8 hours. Wait, I left at 3:47 in the morning. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1. It took me 12 hours. Sorry about that to get here. And I still stayed up, and I'm still up right now. I ain't getting no rest. I stayed up, but and they were. I caught them doing a little bit of racist bullshit. You know, they white guys. You know what's gonna happen when you're a black dude and you know you ain't working for no feds, nobody. White people gonna try you. You know, once they all together like that. There's black guys there, but you know that shit don't mean nothing. They fucked up in the head just as even more than the whites. Um, and so I caught him coughing up at me because I'm on the top bunk and he down there. But that's why I was waiting to get my the other place, because the other place they give you your own room. You don't have to be in a room with no motherfucking body. Versus this place, where you got to be in a room with like 3 other crackers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be on that bullshit. And one of the dude got a hole in his neck, and he be blowing. He can't talk because he got a hole in his neck, and you can see right inside his neck through the hole. And he be handling the food, fixing and shit like that. And he always like cough or sneeze or something, and his neck, the hole blows really hard, like like an empty whistle, go make this horrible sound, and through his neck. And he sleep on the bottom of me, and every couple of minutes you hear him blowing something out of his neck, a cough, a sneeze out of his neck. And then the 2 other white guys were snoring along with the other black guy in the other room. I don't know if that was a black guy, but the black guy is in a room with somebody else, and they purposely left their door open. That's why we was able to hear them in the video I recorded so loud, because they was communicating with each other. Our door was closed, but their door was open, and they put some shoes to keep the door open. And I saw it like that when I walked out of the room, and it stayed like that all night until the morning. They were communicating with each other, snoring through their sleep and shit, talking about shit, you know, about what they're gonna do and this and that, all this bullshit. You know how to do. But anyways, catch y'all in the next video. Y'all stay safe. Peace out. I'm gonna go post that video like I said, and enough of that talking. Stay safe. Peace out.